Hey everyone, I just wanted to talk a little bit about some issues that I think are really uh, just blown out of proportion as far as what we feel like love is. We look at love today and we call all kinds of affections love. Um, I think we really need to look at what love really is, because we can say all kinds of things of love based on our cultural background or our upbringing. We've witnessed things that we interpreted as love, and it could be something negative, but because that's our interpretation, that's our perception of it, we look at it and say, okay, well, that's love. Well, let's look at some of the things that may not be love, because I saw a video that disturbed me. A young lady, and a man showed her kindness, and because he showed her kindness, she took that as if he either loved her, and eventually I guess she felt like she loved him because of what he did. But there are people that'll come in your life that'll be kind to you, but they're not being kind to you because they actually care about you. They're being kind to you because they have an agenda. And their agenda, you play a part in. If they can see somewhere where they can fit you in and get to their goal by using whatever it is that you bring, then they're going to put you in that mix and you'll become a part of where they're trying to go. But you will be irrelevant to where they're trying to go. When someone is kind to you, that does not mean that they care. Judas betrayed Jesus by walking up and kissing him. So just because a person shows you some type of kindness, we have to be careful that we're not so needy that anything and everything we grab hold to because somebody's kind to us and say, oh, well, they must love us. Because a lot of people are harmed by people who are close to them that they assume love them. Corinthians 13:4 and 5 talks about the attributes of real love. It first says love is patient. In being patient, especially in relationship, it's very important that we are patient. But there are relationships where people are not. They're irritable. If anything goes wrong, it just shakes their whole foundation and they can't function. They get angry really easy. That's not patience. If you make a mistake, they're all over you and won't let you forget it, won't release you from it, won't forgive you for it. That's not being patient. When love is patient, it suffers long. Meaning, okay, maybe you did mess up, but I'm believing that you're going to be able to change this and make it better. If God treated us like we treat people sometimes, we would be in trouble. Love is kind. And being kind and being considerate, that's something that we have to really work on as human beings. I mean, it's very easy to be mean. It's very easy to be surly and just attack people. It's real simple to do that. And flesh loves doing stuff like that. But when you walk in the spirit, flesh is bound. It can't act that way anymore. So, not being envious. Love is not envious. Sometimes I've heard in relationships and I've seen in relationships where somebody is jealous. And envy and jealous is two different things. When you envy, it's because you feel a lack somewhere in yourself. You're comparing yourself to somebody else and you're feeling that you lack in whatever it is that you're looking at that they have or do. So jealousy is when you actually feel you're about to lose something, the loss of something. Envy usually is something targeted towards one person. Jealousy can probably involve at least 3 people. Because most of the time with relationships, that's what's happening. Somebody's feeling that they're about to lose somebody to somebody else. But with envy, that's different. There are people that'll befriend you simply because they envy you. And because whatever it is they feel like they lack that you have, they're trying to get close to it. Or they're trying to acquire it by being close to you. Love won't dishonor others. People that cheat dishonor themselves, They dishonor the person that they're cheating on. They dishonor the person that they're cheating with. So we know that's not love. Love does not seek its own. It's not self-seeking. It's not all about self. People with narcissistic personalities are all about self. And most of them are cheaters. Because everything, including the relationships that they encounter, are all about them. Everybody involved in the relationship, whether it's the person they're cheating on or the person they're cheating with, it's still all about them. They don't love either one of them. They love themselves. Love is not easily angered. And I think I crossed that earlier. When you're loved or loving someone, you may get angry, yes. But it doesn't happen all the time for any little thing. Most of the time in relationships, when a person is easily angered, it's because something else is underlying. There's something else that's going on. Especially if it's whatever's angering them is not even a big deal. It'll be blown all out of proportion simply because there's something else underlying that they're probably not willing to divulge. And love keeps no record of wrongdoing. When you love somebody, you're not constantly holding over their head what they did wrong. You're not constantly bringing up what they did wrong. If you made a decision to forgive them for it, you're not constantly bringing that up and throwing it in their face. So every time that you get angry with them, you bring up whatever it is that they did. I don't care if it was 5 years ago. People that do that will go down the line with you and bring up everything that they can remember. That's because they're keeping record. They're keeping score. You did this, you did this, you did this. And even though we got past that, and you said we got past that, and we said, okay, I'm sorry, and we made up and all of that. The next time you get mad, if you bring it up, you're keeping record. Forgiveness doesn't keep record. And love is a part of forgiving. So when we encounter relationships where we're saying it's love, we need to take an account of what love really is before we slap that label on something that somebody's doing or something, a way that somebody is acting. We need to look at it for what it really is. And the truth is, it may not be love. But because we want in our minds to say, well, we're so needy, we need love so much, we're willing to change and lie to ourselves and say, well, this person must love me because this is what they're doing. And I know this is what they're doing, and I know it's not right, but because I believe and I want to believe that they love me, I'll say this is love. But that's not truth. And that's lying to yourself. It's living a fantasy. It's an illusion. And most of the time, it's going to blow up. It's going to blow up. People may even get hurt. So it's best to tell yourself the truth when it comes to what you're defining as love. Because if it's not love, you need to tell yourself the truth about it. And just say, hey, I missed it. I messed up. Bad call, and go back and try again. Because to just try to ride that wave out can be very dangerous sometimes. And we can't make somebody love us. You can't make somebody do right. You can't make somebody want to do right. The only person we can control is ourselves. We can't control anybody else. When you get into trying to control other people, things get dangerous. That's why we see all over the internet people killing other people, people shooting other people, attacks, women fighting over men, stuff like that, because people are attempting to control somebody else's actions, what somebody else is doing. We can't control anybody but ourselves. God didn't intend for us to control other people. So if a person in a relationship is just not working out, rather than try to hurt them and control them through making them do what you want them to do, just let it go. Walk away. Lick your wounds. Say, okay, I messed up that time. I'll try again or not. Allow God to heal you and move on. Don't wallow in pity. Everybody makes mistakes. Don't be so needy. that you allow yourself to be abused and misused. And I say that because I've done it before. I know where that is. But we don't have to allow ourselves to be that way. We don't have to allow ourselves to be treated that way. And God is there to help us to think straight, to see truth. So we don't have to go into those places and walk into those holes and end up someplace in life where we just really shouldn't be. He's not out to destroy us. He wants to protect us and shield us. Thanks for listening.